Juppet here, recording as I always do in my new office. It's super empty, but it's gonna be really cool, yeah. If you look over there, you can see the Beetlejuice office. He's got like a wet bar and a desk that dispenses soup and a bunch of other stuff. But that's okay. We're gonna have something kind of more modern and scientific. I haven't figured out what yet, but yeah, this is gonna be where my desk is. We're gonna have kind of like opposite corners, because his wing of the museum is out that way, and my wing of the museum is out this way. Let me show you where we're working first. We've got our hands full of glass because we're about to build a colossal prism right here in this atrium. Now that the atrium roofs are done, we can get that prism locked down, get some nice white light shining into it, and have a rainbow project across that way with our model of the to-be-built Hubble Space Telescope. I mean, the real Hubble was built a while ago, but our model hasn't built yet, so we're going to have a cool visible light thing underneath it. But first, we got a few things we got to do. We got to build the prism. We got to get rid of this old beacon, and I think we need to go find a source of prismarine. Luckily, I put in an acquisition order with the Fleshbound Joe to head over to Grian's shop and buy some prismarine for us. So hopefully he'll be back soon. Let's go ahead and get that triangle going. And then we're gonna jump through time. Howdy, Squid. Joe Hills here, swimming around as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. Somewhere there's supposedly an entrance to this prismarine shop. I've not had great luck getting the drop on that. Ooh, what about this? What if we drop in through right here? Wow, that was almost fatal. Great job, everybody. So there's an ender chest with nothing in it. Prismarine box with nothing in it. Sea lanterns chest. Ooh. 4 diamonds per stack. Honestly, that's all we need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, and we're out of here. But not until this cooked chicken digests, because I don't want to die smacking into the ceiling or have my fire rocks blow up. Time skip. That sure looks like progress down there. The Juppet has been applying sea lanterns to the prism. However, you know, I can't delegate away my own responsibility here. And once again, it's up to me to kind of step in. Look at that prism. That is just not how prisms actually work. I know the Juppet has a very childlike view of the world, but even though this is a museum and things need to be kind of abstractions or models of how they really work, that isn't even close. That is not even close to how a prism would work. If the rainbow is supposed to be coming out that way, you know, you could pull a few artistic licenses here and there and kind of arguably do that, but you'd need to rotate that whole prism and that beam of light. One of my staff, Queen Dark Lady, is actually a PhD physics student and has provided me with a diagram. I'm going to pass along to the Juppet so we can get that going. You know, and I'm looking at this JWST, which, promising start, but still not finished. I need to really get on him about finishing things that you start. It is not easy. It is not easy trying to let the little ones go out on their own and do their own thing. A gentle touch, a light hand. We'll just see if we can nudge this toward a little bit of progress. Time skip. Well, I just got a note that says there's always room for improvement, especially when what you're starting from is physically impossible. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to rotate this entire prism and then change the incidence of the beam of light so it occurs coming from this direction over here. And then we're going to say, I guess the rainbow part's good enough because it doesn't have to all be physically accurate to look awesome in a museum. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Let's rotate this whole thing. Woo! As Captain Curator of this museum, I am super proud to show you what I have accomplished today. Pew, pew, pew. Look, I'm firing white light from my laser eyes, and that white light is splitting in through that prism into a whole array of colors. But not only have we established what the floor is going to look like for our visible light exhibit, I want to show you what the wall is going to look like. Here, look where I'm looking. See these walls? They don't look very impressive right now, but we're about to make our first major wall-based decoration decision. And let me tell you, it's a pretty basic decision. It's do we flip the lever? There it is. I had our facilities fleshbound facilitator come in and collect all 22 beacons from around here so that I could do this. Pew, 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 pew. Looks pretty sweet, huh? I feel like this will really give a certain amount of vibrancy to the exhibit that we just haven't seen before in this museum. This old empty shell is about to be a lot more visual.
Oh, hey, railings. Look at that. Wow, not only are there railings now on some of these walkways coming out of the elevator shafts, but there's also additional railings kind of along those ledges there. Red over the infrared exhibit, tinted glass over the ultraviolet exhibit. We got a white railing going all the way around the top floor there. That's actually looking pretty good. You know what's not looking good? Let me show you. When we swing into the library here, look at this. Look at the lights on the ceiling. You know, I was trying to use the stars to orient myself on this grid here. You know, like, let's say I wanted to find D5, right? I might look at the ceiling and go, okay, well, we got a nice little line there. That's fine. But you know what? A lot of these don't actually make any real proper line that you can use for the grid system. Look at these down here. They've got a swoosh to them. A swoosh does not a grid make. It is as though a child of Nike, I don't know, Bill Bowerman's grandchild or whatever, got a bunch of glow-in-the-dark stars for their birthday, slapped them in a waffle iron, then melted them to the ceiling. And I don't have time for that. That's garbage. It's starbage. It's out of here. We're going to come in here and we're going to set up a grid of lights on the ceiling that corresponds with the letters and the numbers. Why are there not numbers there? We're also going to maybe put in some additional numbers on this wall. I don't know. Let's get on it, because clearly our facilities guys has gone off the rails and onto the railings. So it's us to fix all the ceilings. Those terrible lights in the floor are all gone now. Okay, that zombie is not gone. But the terrible lights in the floor are gone. As you can see, we've replaced those with banks of lights that are going to run in parallel kind of clusters to each other in order to indicate better from below where the books surely go. Why don't I show you? Woo! The library has a new entrance here on the upper deck, as I call it, where you can see from underneath how we've got these banks of lights running in parallel to our letters and numbers system. I've also got an entire, an enchanting station. You know, the wonderful Wizard of Oz might not have been able to pull this off, but hey, I can. I don't even need a curtain, you know. We got some books in storage. The rest of them are still up in the boxes, but whatever, that's fine. We got some seating. We got some armor stand computers for the secretary who will tell people to leave me alone when I'm in my office, which is looking better than ever. We got a couch facing the wet bar and out into the building. Unfortunately, I can kind of see across there into the Juppet's office. It's not great. It looks like a child's room. It looks like a 4-year-old who loves watching Star Trek with his dad said, "Daddy, can you paint over the hippopotamuses in my room? Because I'm not a baby anymore. Can you put, like, Star Trek in there? Like, make it, like, Star Trek office bedroom?" It's not great over there, kids. It's not great. But you know what? We'll show you that in a minute. I'll let the Juppet show you. But look at this. Look at these lights. Clearly gridding out where things are in the library here in a way that I feel is more productive. What we have here is a design flow that complements our information flow. And anytime there are compliments because of something I did, those compliments are directed at me, and I'm fine with them. Other compliments, extraneous, unnecessary. Stop. Don't waste our time. Anyway, obviously, library's looking great because I'm brilliant. But, you know what? Why don't I hand it over to the Juppet so he can show you his baby spaceship room? Welcome back, everybody! I was just putting the finishing touches on my James Webb Space Telescope, or JWST Infrared Space Telescope. We don't really have a lot of, like, information or details about how it works in yet. But, you know, that's just the sort of stuff that a captain curator needs a well-prepared office for. So let me show you my office. It's really sweet. It's right this way.
we don't have like a proper entrance to the office yet with like a secretary desk and whatnot, but we do have a conference table. Look, this way all my collaborators can come here and collaborate with me. I don't have any yet, but I think one day maybe I will, and I'm super excited. I've got some armor stand pictures on there, and that looks really good. I've got a model of a Starship, which I'm super proud of, across my desk here. Look at that little shelf. It's the best, isn't it the best? I want it to be the best. And Cubfan brought me cake. Cubfan brought me cake. I'm so little, but he brought me cake, and that was really nice for my birthday. Thank you, Cubfan. Anyway, I'm just so excited about my office, and I want to make it the best. So if you have any ideas, leave your ideas in the YouTube comment section below. Okay. So I need to hand it off to the facilities guy so that he can do the outro of the episode, because I'm just too excited about the cake. Like when Cubfan brought it, I was gonna cry, and then I did cry, and it was the best because Cubfan's the best. If you aren't already watching Cubfan, please go watch Cubfan. Okay. It's me, Joe Hills, your Fleshbound Facilities facilitator. I have been asked by the Juppet and the Beetlejuice to remind you that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. That is thanks to Patreon patron Open Bag 2. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a haiku of my own devising. Weeds grow in sidewalks, like minds do in offices. Abstract through concrete. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.